minutes, 390 to downtown, 40 minutes from Wolf Road, outbound 34 minutes to 390. Eden's 21 minutes, Lycook Junction, outbound 25. Inbound Kennedy, 48 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 26 from Montrose, 20 in the Express, outbound 33 minutes to the airport. Inbound Stevenson, 49 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 34 minutes from 95th. Northbound Tri-State, it's heavy 95th to Archer from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan so into North Avenue. Southbound, there's a jam, O'Plain to Bradley with a crash on the left side. Northbound Veterans Memorial, traffic slow, 75th to the Reagan Tollway. That's traffic. I'm Jim Alamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Partly sunny, breezy and mild, a high of 52. Currently 38. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest.
And Amy, we're broadcasting live this morning from Gatto Industrial Platers on the west side of Chicago, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour. And we're pleased to be joined, after much anticipation all morning, by George Gatto Sr. and George Gatto Jr., the Gattos that run Gatto Industrial Plating. Now you know where the name comes from. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So let's start with Senior, and just give us the story of the genesis of this business.
Well, in 1976, my brother, Bob Gatto, my father, Dominic Gatto, and I bought the company from my brother's father-in-law. His name was Jim Westendorf. And it was Jim Westendorf had some, he was aged and had some problems financially and that. So we bought the company from him, and we built it up over the years. There was 18 employees when we bought the company, and today there's 150 employees. So we've grown to be one of the largest metal finishers in the country.
So explain to everyone, what exactly do you do here? What do you produce? What do you transport out of here?
Do you want to do that, son?
Yeah. All right, Dad's passing it off to his son,
Sure.
George Jr.
Yeah.
You take this one.
These guys, it's time for the next generation to do some heavy lifting around here.
Yeah, he's on his way out. So we're a metal finishing company, and we specialize in zinc plating, zinc nickel plating, and chromate over aluminum. What that is a lot of our customers are metal stampers, metal fabricators. They're making different components for the auto companies, for John Deere, for Caterpillar, heavy equipment, consumer products, all that stuff. So electronics, utilities. But they make these components. It needs some sort of coating for rust preventative purposes. So that's what we do, is rust preventative coatings.
And we were talking a little bit off air, but I wanted to recount this for our listeners. And that is, as a down-the-line supplier to Fortune 500 companies like you're describing, have you been affected by the slowdown in economic activity because of the spread of the coronavirus globally?
Yeah, I think in a sense we have, because it's these bigger Fortune 500 companies that are determining what the parts that we're going to see, the parts that our customers are going to make, and if they decide to put products on hold, if they're uncertain as to what the sales forecasts are going to be, that trickles down to us. And I think we've definitely seen it a little bit. Over these past couple of weeks, orders have been down. We just haven't seen the amount of work that we typically see. And
what about the business climate here in Chicagoland and Illinois? It's always interesting when we talk to manufacturers, but really across sector, which is there's so many great things about locating a business in Chicago because of the labor pool and because of transportation. But more and more, I've got to weigh those advantages against all the disadvantages that the politicians impose on businesses trying to make a go of it in this region. And so, where, as a relatively good-sized manufacturer, where do you guys come down?
Yeah, as far as how is that affecting us?
Yeah, and how do you do that cost benefit?
Yeah, I think for us, location is pretty key for us because we service customers throughout the Chicagoland area. I think at the time that we set up in this facility, it was, relatively affordable to be here. My dad could kind of speak on that a little bit more. But now we're dealing with high property taxes. That's obviously going to affect the price of our services. Chicago has enacted a minimum wage increase, and they've been the first to do that. So we've got competitors right across the street who've not had to, necessarily raise their wages because of this, but we have. So it puts us at a disadvantage to be located in Chicago for those factors. And what that translates to is, we somehow got to work that into our pricing, and that eventually trickles
down
back
to the consumer.
Yeah,
right?
Comes back eventually.
So Senior, how is that? How has it changed the environment here to do business over the last 40 years?
Well, it makes it very, very difficult. If I could, in my own words, it seems like the politicians in Chicago are doing whatever they can to put us out of business. They have no regard. They've never run a business. They don't know what we go through. But to enact a minimum wage increase, we have a lot of folks here that are happy to have a job that come in and wrap parts. You could learn that job in 2 hours. And they come in here, and we were paying them minimum wage. We had to get rid of some of these people because we couldn't keep up with the minimum wage increases. So now these folks that had a job don't have a job because we just can't afford our company, which was minimally profitable. And when I say minimally, I'm talking 5%. That our first minimum wage increase whacked our profit and completely wiped it out. Thank God that the economy, due to the election, picked up a little bit, and we were able to afford the minimum wage increase. But now their new scheme, and I don't know if this is going to go through, but they want to enact an ordinance that if this is a moving dynamic in this business. So we're busy today, and we might get slow tomorrow. So we don't lay people off. We just go back to 8 hours. But now they want to pass some kind of an ordinance that if we want to increase our people's hours, we have to give them. What is it?
The work week ordinance you're talking about.
Yeah, we have to give them. How do you do that? You can't do that in our bed. What are we going to tell our customers that we got to wait 2 weeks or I think it's 30 days or something.
Yeah, and I mean, and one of the keys here too is, as I understand it from your operations guy, that you employ some temporary workers too.
Yes.
And those come from businesses that find temporary workers for employers too. I mean, so the lack of understanding or concern perhaps about the ecosystem of employment and employment opportunity from the political class here.
Right.
And I think the other thing too, we rely on, and our customers rely on, some of these bigger manufacturers that are inventing products, producing products, and the more that could stay in Illinois and be in this area, we all benefit from that. But just these things, any one thing, the minimum wage, the different ordinances, it's not going to maybe have a huge impact, just that thing on its own. But you slowly erode the desirability to be in Illinois, to be in Chicago, and now. We have 500 some customers, all employ 25 to 100 some people. Those jobs start going away, and it just continues.
Do you have people coming and knocking on your door from next door in Indiana? There's been a lot of talk and examples of other states and their leadership coming in and trying to woo businesses from the Chicagoland area to particularly contiguous states.
Yeah, I would say probably once a week we get a call from a chamber of commerce outside of Illinois
and Wisconsin too.
Yeah,
or Iowa.
All over.
Yeah, all over
actually.
the place. Yeah, just I think
anything look enticing?
I mean, we haven't really sat down and seriously talked to anybody, but the opportunity is certainly there if we decide to start looking seriously.
Tell us something too. Just going back to the business, this dreary talk about having to live and work in Chicago.
I know. Okay, I'm getting depressed.
It's just a happy time.
Bring it
Business
up.
is good.
Yeah.
But something that's increasingly unique, which is passing a manufacturing concern on to the next generation. And the fact that this is staying a family business through a couple of generations now, that's a nice thing.
Yeah, we're proud of that, and we've sustained. Many of our competitors are no longer with us, and so being in Chicago, it's a great location. We have a lot of water. We have the employees. It's a central location for the United States. We're now getting work from East Coast, West Coast, even Mexico and Canada, because we have the biggest plating line in North America.
Wow.
Out in our plant.
Really?
Yeah. We call it King Kong.
And you were able to keep George Jr. from doing what I did and majoring in medieval poetry and doing something productive with his life, right? Yeah.
Well, I majored in marketing, and that didn't go so well. So.
But I mean,
But eventually you'll take over?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
you
that's
kind of already are?
Yeah, I was named president a few years ago of the company.
Congratulations.
So yeah, so he's
Dan, he's
just
president.
hanging out. Yeah.
No, I understand. I sent him a card when he was saying. But speak to your decision to go into this industry, because for younger guys, you're a young guy. This isn't sexy and cool. You're supposed to be coding or in the West Loop at Google or something like that, but you're doing this.
Yeah, I right out of college, like I said, I was in, I studied marketing, and I went into commercial real estate, and I was a commercial real estate broker dealing with a lot of industrial property, doing sales and leasing, and I did that, for about 8 years, and it was a great experience. It was straight commission, so it was just kind of you make whatever you can. So it was a good experience. But then the market took a turn and things were pretty rough. I was working pretty hard, and just the money wasn't coming in. And always we had been kind of discussing here and there, and I never. I was like, no, that's my dad's thing. What do I know about this? I had worked here in high school. I worked here for a summer, and I'm like, Dad, no, this isn't. I was making minimum wage of $4.35 an hour. I'd come home after a hard week's worth of work with $36. I said, Dad, no, I'm gonna, me and a friend decided to start a lawn mowing business, and we made way more money doing that.
That's great. Wait, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, he did. He said, Dad, you know what? I said, son, are you going to come back to work in the summer? And he said, these were kind of his words. He said, I was thinking, Dad, of buying a grass cutter. He said, and I could make as much in one day as I do working for you all week. Yeah. So that's what he did, And I said, God bless that kid. He's got a
The entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then when I saw the way his partners that he picked, they weren't as motivated to cut grass as he was. And the first day out, his partner wanted to go to the beach. And he's like, we got lawns to cut, So I thought, he's got what it takes.
Well, I think my partners maybe had bigger and better things than cutting grass.
Well, it's good to have.
They're probably listening.
It's good to have the eat what you kill mentality. To talk to us about the business and where the growth opportunities are that you see. I know you're always looking for growth opportunities.
Yeah, I think the advantage that we have, like we said, we have the largest zinc plating line in North America. So I mean, I think that's a real opportunity for us to grow, and I don't think we've substantially tapped that market. So that's kind of the goal, is to get more business for that line. We have a large facility here. We're a little over 200,000 square feet. We're set up to process high volumes of parts, and we're set up to process it quickly. We also do smaller volumes of stuff, but just being in Chicago and centrally located, I think things coming from the coast that eventually end up in this area, we're a natural choice for that type of work. So it's really just kind of just expanding out of this geographical area a little bit, and capturing more of the zinc and zinc nickel plating market.
He is George Gatto Jr. along with George Gatto Sr. They are Gatto Industrial Platers. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us and hosting us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
The following is a paid political announcement.
In 2020, we will decide the direction of our nation for decades to come. Do you want more government in your life or more freedom? As a veteran, Jeannie Ives stands on the side of freedom. She took an oath to protect and defend our Constitution. Now, our American values are under attack. Our economic system, the rule of law, and our ability to create and pursue opportunity. In Illinois, Jeannie spent 7 years fighting corruption and reckless spending because every dime government spends comes out of your pocket. In Washington, Ives will fight to balance the budget, defend our borders, grow the economy, and stand in the way of big government policies. You deserve to have your voice heard in Washington, not to be talked down to by elitist politicians in your own backyard. Choose the candidate who works for you. Choose Jeannie Ives for Congress.
I'm Jeannie Ives, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jeannie for